70% enthusiastic and optimistic. If it was Arsenal just doing directly with Wolves, I would put that as 50-50. But we're going through George Mendes. We know how George Mendes is good at Portuguese players. We know the relationship between George Mendes and the hierarchy of Wolves. So we know how George Mendes has brought in two quality players in this transfer window to Wolves. So maybe it's time for Wolves to balance their books. They've been spending a lot of money. Maybe it's high time they actually sell to balance their books. And Arsenal will gladly do that. Even though the tweet says Arsenal are not planning to spend excessively, but come on, the deal can be done. And for those Arsenal fans and content creators trying to play down the potency and what's the right word? The status in terms of what's the right? I'm trying to treat the right word. They're trying to play down the efficiency of PEDRO NETO. I think that's very disingenuous. PEDRO NETO is a fantastic winger and he will do a lot for us. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification bell on. So when I drop this video, you can be alerted and you can watch them. It's very important for the algorithm that you guys just like the video. So we're talking about two transfer rumors that are actually brewing and seems to have some legs to it. Youri Tielemans and Neto. But I'm going to start with Neto. Neto is a player I admire so much. I've watched him a few times at Wolves, even before his injury and after his injury. I love him. In my opinion, is the best one-on-one dribbler I've seen. People will debate and say Dembele does that, but I love the way Neto does it. He's a left-footed winger. He can dribble on the left. He can play like as an inverted right winger too, and can do exceptionally well. So I love Neto. I like the way he plays. Yes, some of you argue his statistics, especially the one that pertains to assist and goal scoring, are not the best. But let's not forget, Neto is still young. He's not at his prime yet. He's just 22, 23. Come on. And he's playing for Wolves. What do you expect? What do you expect? Like sometimes the argument you guys lay out regarding these players and using solely statistics, I think is very archaic, it's very lame, well, for lack of a better word, and it's very restrictive. Statistics are fine, but statistics can be manipulated to suit any narrative you want. Like I've seen Mustafi statistics before he signed for Arsenal. They were one of the best, but in exhibition and declaration is abysmal and are very poor. So staying on Neto, I think Neto's links, I'm not sure how feasible that deal is going to be, even though it was actually tweeted by David Ornstein, which is one of the best tier one journalists that is very credible. So we can say for sure those links are very, very credible. They're not just rumors, they are credible, very credible. It is not confirmed we're going to sign him for sure, but Arsenal are keen on the guy and we're very interested. So let me read the tweet. Arsenal transfer priority is PEDRO NETO. Discussion for over a month. AFC, that means Arsenal AFC to George Mendes to Wolves. Wolves don't plan to sell 22, he's even 22, not 23 years. The 22-year-old winger yet. Arsenal can't spend excessively, so the deal is not easy, but interest concrete and unanimous. Very interesting information right there, saying Arsenal are keenly interested, so we are using a third-party intermediary, George Mendes. We know the Fabio Vieira deal was broke out by George Mendes, so we are using George Mendes for this deal. So that gives a bit of hope. That gives me hope. If we're going to go through George Mendes, we know George Mendes is very good at delivering deals, provided you cut him his percentage. Most of the time he delivers the deal. So I would say I am 70% optimistic about this deal because I know us acquiring Neto will bring competition to Saka, and that will improve Saka, and that will give us the needed depth for us to actually assure our place as a top four team, or a team vie for top four rather, and maybe we can actually win the Europa League, in my opinion. And passively, we can see that Liverpool are stuttering. We can see Manchester City drop points against Newcastle yesterday. We might passively compete for the league. I'm not saying concretely. Do not misquote me. I'm saying passively. Why don't you stay prepared so that If Man City are not pulling up their weight and Liverpool are stuttering, come on, we can do a Leicester. Remember what Leicester did a few years ago? It's still possible. It's still very possible. A few hours ago, we saw Manchester United just beat Liverpool. So it is still very, very possible that Arsenal, if they're well prepared, can actually win the league. Don't quote me, I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I'm saying if Manchester City do not play up to their standard, their usual standard, and they falter, and Liverpool can see they're already starting already. They have 2 points out of 9 points, the first 3 games. There is nothing impossible. So for me, the Neto Pedro links, they're looking credible, and I would love Arsenal to acquire him. It's going to be very difficult. We know how tough Wolves are to negotiate with. And we know he signed a deal, I think, in March this year. He signed an extension to his deal. So that will be all the cards are with Wolves. But the fact that we are going through an intermediary in George Mendes, it gives me a little bit of hope. What do you guys think? Do you think we can actually complete this deal? No. Do you think we can pull off that's the appropriate word? Do you think we can pull off this deal? Like I said, I am 70% enthusiastic and optimistic. If it was Arsenal just doing directly with Wolves, I would put that as 50-50. But we're going through George Mendes. We know how George Mendes is good with Portuguese players. We know the relationship between George Mendes and the hierarchy of Wolves. So we know how George Mendes has brought in two quality players in this transfer window to Wolves. So maybe it's time for Wolves to balance their books. They've been spending a lot of money. Maybe it's high time they actually sell to balance their books. And Arsenal will gladly do that. Even though the tweet says Arsenal are not planning to spend excessively, but come on, the deal can be done. And for those Arsenal fans and content creators trying to play down the potency and what's the right word? The status in terms of what's the right? I'm trying to treat the right word. They're trying to play down the efficiency of Pedro Neto. I think that's very disingenuous. Pedro Neto is a fantastic winger and he will do a lot for us. See, if you give me the chance, I will start Pedro Neto ahead of Saka. I'm not saying Saka is not fantastic. I just think one-on-one, I'm not saying Saka is not great. I just think Pedro Neto is better on one-on-one dribbles. He's quicker, his burst and his aggressiveness is on that level compared to Saka. Saka is still young. Saka is 21. Saka will get to that level. And Saka can still do an adequate job. What is wrong with sharing the burden with Saka? Neto and Saka on the right wing is fantastic. We should be able to bring in quality competition. That will help Pedro Neto himself, and that will help Saka himself, and that will actually impact the squad. And he can even play on the left sometimes. He can play where Martinelli plays. So, for me, acquiring Pedro Neto will be fantastic. I'm not saying we're going to get him, but it's looking very likely. With 9 days to go in transfer window, there is nothing impossible. With Arteta saying at the weekend, after our victory against Baltimore at Vitality Stadium 3-0, he said we are short and we need to bring in quality. And according to David Ornstein, Arteta loves this player. He would love to have him. And we are hearing that the board, the hierarchy, Arteta himself, Edu, they are all unanimously wanting to bring in this player to the Emirates. So let's watch this space and see what's possible. The other transfer update is on Youri Tielemans. We know we've been linked with him since January, and I was thinking as the transfer window was going to get open, well, he'll be amongst the first players that's not supposed to bring in. But for some odd reasons, nothing has moved regarding that deal. Not even an official bid. Not even one official bid to bring in Youri Tielemans. I think yes, we're actually or initially interested, but for some reason, I think Arsenal are no more interested in getting him. And I've always maintained this stance that Youri Tielemans is a good player, but he's not what if you ask me for my opinion, and I've watched him a lot meticulously. I've followed his career too, and I've watched a lot of football. He's not what we need for the kind of play for the style we play at Arsenal. It's not what we need. He's 2 to 4 seconds quicker than Xhaka. He's not as robust as Xhaka. He's not physically as imposing as Xhaka. Yes, he has more offensive passes than Xhaka, but overall package of a midfielder, I don't think is as good as Xhaka. We even saw the audition when he came to the Emirates to play last week and we beat them 4-2. He gasses out within the first 45 minutes. He doesn't have that engine. He doesn't have that athleticism. Even we know Xhaka is not athletic, but Xhaka will still put in a very good sheet. Xhaka doesn't gas out within the first 45 minutes. Like, so we know that we are susceptible to counter-attack, and you want Youri Tielemans to be at the base of your midfield, and he's not athletic, and he gasses out within the first 45 minutes, and he phases fades out of games. So no. I'm sorry. I understand there's an agenda against Xhaka. You guys will take any player instead of Xhaka. That needs to stop. On merit, Xhaka has improved since last season. I can see that he has added busting forward to the box this season to his game. Come on, let bygones be bygones. I understand he has done some dastardly things in the past. Let it go. Let's not make it personal. Come on. Arsenal should come first, not your personal feelings, not your agenda, not your strive for views. If you love the club, the objectivity of the club should come first, regardless of your personal agenda. So I remain resolute on my opinion. Youri Tielemans, if Arteta decides to get him, I'll support him. But like I will not be I will just support him, but I will not be excited. I'll be underwhelmed. I don't think he will suit or fit into what we're trying to do. Hence why we've not pushed the boat and tried to get him at all costs. There's a reason Arsenal have not, even though people are speculating it's because of the fees, maybe we know how difficult it's for most teams to actually do deals with Leicester. They are notoriously for haggling on high prices. They are notorious for getting the best deals out of their players, and I get it. But the fact that Arsenal have not been aggressive enough to go in all in for Youri Tielemans tells me, yes, they might like him, but he's not their first or second choice. And I will not be surprised when the window's shut, Arsenal don't get Youri Tielemans, because I don't think he will fit what we're trying to build at Arsenal. Guys, if you disagree, we leave in the comment section. Do you think Youri Tielemans is actually what Arteta wants to get? And if it was true, why have we not gone to get him? Why are we waiting this long? Why no official bid? I'm not saying Arsenal will not get in a midfielder. I think Arsenal will still get in a midfielder and a white player, but I don't think Youri Tielemans is the right candidate, and I don't think it's a candidate they want to get. Yes, they spoke to him. Yes, they're trying to find a deal, but maybe Arsenal have found a better alternative, which is always good. This is football. You have to get what's best for you. Like I said, Pedro Neto, I love him. I want Arsenal to get him. Hopefully, in the next 9 days, that we can actually follow up our interest with some concrete offer and get the deal done. We know it's going to be expensive, and I'm hearing rumors that Wolves are willing to listen to offers of up north of 45 to 50 million, which is decent for a 22-year-old winger, Premiership proven. Yes, had an injury last season, but he has come back stronger. I was surprised when I saw him in the last 2 games, and it's looking like he was never injured. So it shows that he's very good, he's fit. So I don't mind him adding it to our Arsenal. Seriously, Pedro Neto for me will push us to another level. He will push Saka to another level, and will push the team to another level. What do you guys think? Leave a comment section. Do you think Pedro Neto will be a fantastic deal or not? Do you think if we actually acquire him, he should play ahead of Saka, or Saka should still be the one holding the first slot? Leave it in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Like the video. It's very important for the upgrading. And I will see you guys on the next one. Ciao. Stop it.